Very good morning to all dear students of MSc Previous Physics class. Dear students, when you wish to understand the concepts of electrodynamics, you have to have a good knowledge of vectors, and apart from it you must have a good knowledge of differential and integral calculus. Today I shall explain you about the main aspects of vectors which you have to remember all the time, and then we shall be using these concepts in the upcoming days. You know, when I call vectors, then you can see that all physical quantities are tensors. One thing I am telling you in a different way, which you don't understand up to your earlier classes. All physical quantities are tensors. Tensor of zero order is called scalar, and tensor of first order is called a vector. Remember, in any n-dimensional space, any tensor of m order has n to the power m components. What does it mean? When I say there is a tensor of zero order, then n to the power 0 will give you one component. That is, hence for a scalar, there is only one component, which you know a scalar is represented by one value. For a vector, there will be n components, because m will be equal to 1. So n to the power 1 is n. And you are well familiar that in three-dimensional space, there are three components of a vector. In four-dimensional space, there are four components of any vector. So, whatever is the number of dimensions in the dimensional space, as many numbers of components will be there for any vector. And you have learned in your earlier classes that in three-dimensional space we consider the three components of a vector as along x-axis, the so-called y-axis, and the so-called z-axis. Now, apart from this, you must have a good knowledge of coordinate systems. What are coordinate systems? A coordinate system is a frame of coordinate system is used to denote the position of any particle. A frame of reference is equal to a coordinate system plus a clock. Apart from the position, you have to have a good knowledge of the time. Then you can define any phenomena in physics. So, an event or phenomena means coordinate plus clock, information of its position as well as time. You must learn it. That whenever I say that an event took place or a phenomena is taking place in physics, it means you are asked to have a knowledge of position as well as time. Only then you can define the velocity, you can define the acceleration or all the physical quantities which are varying with time. You can only then judge that what will be the corresponding value of them. So, now there are in general three coordinate systems which we generally come across in electrodynamics. Although in general a coordinate system is defined as curvilinear coordinate system, but the three examples of the curvilinear coordinate system which we follow and which we use are as following. First one is Cartesian coordinate system. Second one, the most important one, is spherical coordinate system. Spherical or polar coordinate system. Whenever you are asked to define a polar coordinate system, then remember spherical or polar coordinate system. And third one is cylindrical coordinate system. So you must be familiar with these three coordinate systems, I think. The one important one is spherical coordinate system, most important and somewhat tough to understand as well. The simplest one out of these three is Cartesian coordinate system, about which I am going to explain. I shall explain all the systems to you because nowadays in many universities these are not taught to the students. So the first one is Cartesian coordinate system. A Cartesian coordinate system, it has three planes normal to each other, see at MSc level you must be very careful to define the things. Most of the students, when I ask what do you mean by Cartesian coordinate system, they will answer that there are three axes normal to each other. It is not a proper way to explain the things. You must say there are three planes which are perpendicular to each other, because by the intersection of two planes we get an axis, and by the intersection of all the three planes we get a point.